Welcome to the channel where we talk about stuff happening in the Vtuber world, and today we talk about Filian. The Vtuber Filian got into some trouble recently when people discovered she had been making merchandise using her model's likeness without paying the original artist. Normally, most Vtubers own the commercial rights to their Vtuber model, since they did commission the Vtuber model and paid the artists from the start. In Filian's case, things get a little complicated because she doesn't own the commercial rights to her model. She doesn't even own her model. Filian can't put an image of a Vtuber model onto merchandise and sell it because she's using what is known as a general purpose Vtuber model. Most Vtuber models are very expensive these days, sometimes costing up to thousands of dollars. To combat this, some artists and illustrators as well as makers of Vtuber models created the general purpose model, a Vtuber model that is affordable for beginners, something you can buy for less than $100 instead of the usual thousands of dollars that it would take to commission an original model. These general purpose Vtuber models have problems though. They come with a lot of restrictions. One very common restriction of general purpose Vtuber models is that you can't make merchandise using the image of the general purpose Vtuber model even if you purchase it. You usually have to make an arrangement with the Vtuber artist who made the model in order to get the legal right or commercial right to make merchandise using the model's likeness. Because of those restrictions, it is common knowledge that only beginners and intermediate YouTubers or VTubers will use those general purpose models. The minute a VTuber grows larger, or maybe they get more money from their content creator activities, they will usually replace the general purpose models for a new original model that they commissioned from another artist. This is done to avoid the many restrictions of the general purpose model and to prevent any legal problems from coming up. This is a lesson that Filian would learn the hard way, as two artists responsible for making Filian's general purpose models would accuse her of using her model's likeness on merchandise without informing them. Everything began with the Good Smile company, which announced the creation of the Filian Nendoroid. The artists responsible for Filian's Vtuber model would find out about the situation and complain on Twitter. Before we continue, I would just like to say, I do like Filian, and I believe while she did make a mistake, she can still salvage her situation. She can still fix the problem. As long as she approaches the two artists, good faith, pays what they're owed, and explain what happened, I'm sure Filian will come out of this safe and sound. I actually hope Filian does sort this situation out and actually change her general purpose model to an original model where she actually owns the commercial rights. That way she doesn't need to deal with problems like this in the future. General purpose models come with too many restrictions and they're not meant to be used when you are a really big VTuber because you have too many deals and projects that involve merch. If you have to approach the artist every single time you have a merch deal, it's going to be problematic and it may even slow down the process. So I'm on the side that wishes that Filian would get a new model and then just make new merchandise based on a new model. It doesn't even need to look different from the original model. Filian can just get a new model that looks similar to an old model and just move on from the situation. I'm sure Filian will sort everything out in the end. For now, let's just wait patiently for her to say something. Now, let's take a look at what the artists have to say about the situation. We have Jingo here, and he's the one who created Filian's Vtuber model. Jingo would say, "Hello, I'm Jingo. This morning, we received many inquiries regarding the announcement made on the Good Smile company account about the production of a nendroid figurine, the Vtuber Rindo. I was currently traveling when I contacted you, so it took some time for me to find out about the situation. Regarding the production of the Vtuber nendroid figure based on Rindo, I was unable to receive any prior contact from the Good Smile company or the Vtuber regarding production-based matters. From my perspective, I was very confused by the fact that the company was planning to produce a figurine based on my character that I had never heard anything about prior to this. We have currently contacted Good Smile company and the VTuber in question and are waiting for a response. It's not an individual issue, so it's going to take some time for everything to come together. Please be aware of this and be patient while we wait for the results." This is an nendroid that Jingo was referring to. Thankfully, the Good Smile company has not released Filian's figure for purchase yet, so things can still be resolved. The Good Smile Company has also taken down the tweet promoting the Filian figure, so this means that the Good Smile Company is aware of the problem. This Filian figure isn't the first time Filian has used her general purpose model for merchandise. Filian previously licensed a Vtuber model's likeness for a U2's figurine. Filian also used her likeness on gamer subs, though I think the difference between this illustration and Filian's original Vtuber model may give Filian some defense regarding its existence. Some of you may be wondering whether or not Jingo is telling the truth and whether or not Filian's model was created by him, and this is the proof. This is Filian's general purpose model being sold on booth, created by Studio Jingo. It's being sold for 7,000 yen, which is equivalent to roughly $40. If you scroll down, you'll actually see the terms and conditions for the model. This is the terms and conditions for Filian's model. It's a general purpose model, so obviously it has a ton of restrictions, but you can ignore most of these and focus on just one of them, this one right here. Within the terms and conditions, there is a part called Q, use for tangible goods. And it states here that Filian needs to contact the licensors, basically Jingo himself, if she wants to use the VTuber's image on merchandise. For example, if Filian wanted to sell clothing with the image of her VTuber model on them, she would need to contact Jingo for his permission. And since we know Jingo never received any sort of communication from Filian, this clothing line is actually not allowed legally. This anime figure, made by the company Novel Horizons, of Filian in her award show outfit, is also legally not allowed, since Jingo never approved it. However, I will argue that because Filian did make a lot of changes to the illustration and the presentation of the model, he has some defense here. Obviously, the legality of this figure will be up to the respectable parties to decide, so let's move on. Aside from Jingo, a second VTuber artist has accused Filian of not getting their permission before printing an image of the VTuber model on merchandise. This is Komado. This is the person who created the VTuber model you see to my left right here. This is Filian's older VTuber model. And this is Komado. This is Filian's second VTuber artist who says, "We are currently receiving a large number of inquiries regarding a specific VTuber," referring to Filian. "Regarding this matter, we would like to inform you that the sales of the model Mint was used as an original character, selling stuffed toys and distributing skins in racing games. Regarding these two things, no permission is given for the following. When using avatars, please comply with the terms of use." And here we have the VTuber model that Komado was referring to. This is the model that Filian recolored and used for purposes a very long time ago. And if you scroll down to the terms and conditions, it's actually the same as the previous VTuber model, so Filian isn't really allowed to use it on merchandise either. Filian would use the likeness of Komado's VTuber model for a plushie, which she sold on the website Makeship. And this is the racing game that the VTuber artist was referring to. Filian had a collaboration with a company, and she was added as DLC onto the game Oh Baby Card, which most of us will never play. Over on the other side of the world, the Japanese people are not amused by Filian's antics, and some of them have taken to explain the situation on Twitter, and they do not like Filian, unfortunately. This Twitter user, SidVRC, has actually unearthed 2 clips from Filian's channel showing that she may have used the VTuber model without paying for them. That means she's using it for free. Sid would say Filian has been bragging about how she got her VTuber model by ripping it on VR chat many times.
So beautiful. I'm so glad that you like this model that I paid $0 for and I'm using for free. No! Ah! So what I did was I went and ripped the model from VR chat illegally. I uploaded it into some software that I downloaded off the internet, which is the same software I'm still using today.
Now, I know the clips look bad, but again, we only have Filian's word for it. We don't actually know if she meant what she said. Still, I haven't heard from Filian's side of the story yet, so let's wait and see. I think the best case scenario is that Filian settles the debt with the artist, gets a new VTuber model, and then moves on from this situation completely. That is the best case scenario in my book. Anyway, that's the end of the video. Thank you for coming. Thank you for watching. Harry Nebula signing out.